That one. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
He done. That did not bode well.
I don't roll for win.
He rolls to stop the other guy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and all you other people. Hello, good evening, greetings and salutations. Yeah, gotta throw in a Knight's Tale reference there.
Yeah.
If you did not know, you have in fact found the Brothers in Arms podcast here on twitch.tv/BrothersInArmsPodcast. It's episode number 180 on this 9th day of November in the year of our Lord 2024. Yes, gentlemen, depending on where you're at in the world, it is the Marine Corps birthday, because where I'm at, it's the 10th. Joining me as always, though, are my two favorite brothers from the same mother and father, Patrick and Alex. I'm Greg. Gentlemen, hello, good evening, greetings and salutations, and all of
Greetings.
Greetings. Hold on.
One day we'll get it.
Hold on.
We'll get it.
Greetings.
There we go. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, come on.
What are you trying to do?
I'm too slow.
Oh. What are you writing? Greetings?
No, I just want to get a guy.
Maybe. Uh-oh. I hear something. I don't hear it anymore.
Nothing yet.
Nope. We're trying. I don't have to stand for this one.
To the source of Tripoli. There you go. For you, my man. For you. Way too slow for that. Way too slow.
Meh. It is what it is. I don't have to stand for that one.
No, you don't. Because
Greg
you
does.
just get to drive him around.
Exactly. And I will yell.
My Uber driver always yells at me.
Always yelling.
Mm-hmm.
Always
So angry.
yelling. Always
So
out
angry.
for the little guy. Shoot. Well,
Who you
happy
calling
birthday,
little?
Marine, where you are
Thank you.
currently. Do you have a birthday party to
We're
put on?
We're cutting cake. Yeah, we're cutting cake
Sweet.
this afternoon.
Cutting a
Yep.
cake?
We always cut cake.
Better than the
But dude,
cheese.
So this is one of those cool things about the Marine Corps, and I've always loved it. Like the Marine Corps and celebrating our history. It doesn't matter where Marines are at in the world. We could be in the middle of a combat zone, and at the bare minimum, Marines will take a little bit of time just to wish each other a happy birthday. Bare minimum. Always. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, I'll never forget my first Marine Corps birthday when I was in, I'd just gotten in. So I was actually at Marine combat training. I was at my second school, the first school that you go to after you become a Marine. And we're in North Carolina. And I was in the field. Like, we were doing field training for the first time, and I was learning, basic combat skills and, training and whatnot. And so
Knife hand.
I'm in the no knife hands, but I was in the middle of the field, freezing my butt off
In North Carolina.
And we had a cake cutting ceremony. And then they had brought out hot trays. So these you put food into like a serving tray, and then it goes inside these plastic, vacuum
Cambros.
insulated. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, to keep them warm.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought out. I had steak and lobster tail. In the middle of the field.
Wow.
And I just remember shaking. Sitting down, out here in the middle of the ground. Like, it's dark. I'm eating by flashlight.
Nice.
And I just remember eating my steak and lobster tail in the cold. After we cut the cake. But yeah, no, even out here, so like we're still gonna take the time, and have a cake cutting ceremony, just because tradition and for us, like traditions and remembering our history and our heritage and where we came from and looking forward to the future is always something that's important. We're 249 years old today or tomorrow, depending on where you're at. So so it's always cool to do that, and it means a lot. So even though some of the Marines have to get up early, which I feel bad for, but at the same time, it's like, dude, this comes around once a year. Let's take the time and enjoy it, and then you go back to bed or go do your own thing. But no.
Now, do you guys also do the oldest and the youngest are the ones that cut the cake?
No, so they don't cut the cake. The commanding officer will always cut the cake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the way it works is the commanding officer cuts the cake, and then the first piece of cake is always given to the guest of honor. So whoever is asked to be there, and then the next slice will be given to the oldest Marine present, and then he or she will hand it to the youngest Marine present, and they'll take a bite. And that's supposed to symbolize the passing of knowledge. And they always read off the Marine's birthday, and I'm at the point in my career when they read off the Marine's birthday, I cry. Because I remember they're like, born in 2000 and something. Because we're at the point now where
we got babies in the Marine Corps.
Oh my
goodness. Excuse me. We have man babies in the Marine Corps.
When
we've always had man babies in the Marine Corps. I'm just saying.
Stop. Uh-oh.
I
That's the
feel
fighting
you, man.
face. Stop,
Some
Alex.
of them-
That's the fighting face.
still
Yep.
are- no.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a smile.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Crisis averted.
I'm spitting words.
You'd about to get something in the mail. Brown paper bag.
Yeah, I was about to say. With instructions that says light on fire and put on porch.
That's right.
I wonder what this is. Man, it smells like crap.
I should step on it to put it out.
In my boots.
No, the Navy kind of does the same thing, but sometimes it's the commanding officer that cuts it, and sometimes it's not. But our way of showing tradition is, the oldest sailor and the youngest sailor in the room cut the cake together. Except when it's not like a Navy birthday cake. So we had one dude who was at the command for, no joke, 10 years.
Oh, wow.
It was a seagoing command, right? And this was back during the time when everyone had like the check-in thing. You could be like the governor of something. Like Wally was the governor of almost every single buffet-style place in Atlanta.
Okay.
That's where his parents went to eat. So every time he went, he just checked in. But so he was the governor. Like, he was the governor of Kroger. He was the governor of all the different Quick Trips. Whatever, you name it, right? This guy was the governor of it.
What was that on? Like, what app is that on?
It was Foursquare.
Foursquare.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this guy had been there for 10 years, so they named him governor of the Enterprise.
Wow.
Because he'd been there.
Wow.
And he had checked in enough times. So he said, when he finally reenlisted again, he wanted a cake. It's one of the things you can request whenever you do that. And the galley made it special for him and made it for the governor. And he got to cut the cake. And one of the flight crews that we had with us were the Black Knights. And the Black Knights have this giant broadsword. Like, I am talking, it is massive. The thing is maybe like 7 or 8 feet long, and he requested that he would be able to cut his cake with the Black Knight's greatsword. So there's pictures floating around somewhere of him cutting this cake with
Love
an
it.
8-foot sword. It's glorious.
Love it.
Yeah, and then he cut himself a piece, and then he held it up, like on near the near the guard, so that he could try and eat it off with his sword. But he couldn't hold it like that, so he had to hold the other hand like this and try and eat this. Glorious.
Yeah, it just doesn't work sometimes. That's okay.
Mm.
But A for effort.
Our squadron is the Night Riders,
Mm-hmm.
and so our unit patch mascot is Death.
Right.
Riding a horse, and he carries a shield and a two-handed or one-handed, depending, but a big battle axe.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a giant shield and a battle axe that are part of the squadron's heritage that travel with us everywhere.
Sweet.
And so normally in the cake cutting ceremony, most squadrons, the tradition is you cut it with a NCO sword. Not here.
Mm-hmm.
No, they cut it with the battle
We're using
axe.
the axe. That's right. We're
The
using
first
the
time
axe.
I saw it at my first Marine Corps ball with this unit last year, and I remember the CO reaching under the little cart. Instead of pulling out an NCO sword, they pulled out this giant battle axe, and him using this big battle axe to cut the cake was pretty entertaining.
Hey, it works.
Everyone giggling because the CO is cutting the cake with a
Well, and here's the
giant
thing.
axe.
You turn it sideways, and it doubles as a spatula.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I mean, if anything's wide enough, yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the knife hand.
The knife hand.
That's a drill instruction. They cut it with a knife hand.
That's right. Cut it with the knife
you-
hand. Scoop it with the knife hand. Plop it with the knife hand. Done.
Well, no, that gets the frosting on the bottom. You don't like the frosting on the bottom.
You want the frosting on top.
Frosting
Well,
is the
no.
frosting.
Here's the
Or
thing,
the
though.
side.
If the frosting's on the bottom, right, you taste with your tongue. So whenever you put it in your mouth, the frosting's already on the bottom. That
No,
just sounds good.
because wherever you place the fork, if you place the fork downwise, like this, fork's down, you're now getting the frosting like to your tonsils.
Well, you could cut it and then scoop like a normal person, and then eat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brothers in Arms Etiquette. We're so glad you're here with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well,
Next week, we
since-
talk about
Piece.
spaghetti.
Yeah. Well, since we're on the topics of traditions,
Traditions.
have you gentlemen ever heard of a ceremony called crossing the line?
I mean, I've crossed a line once or twice.
Yeah. Well, once you cross the line, you never go back.
Okay, then no, I've not crossed that
Okay.
line.
Yeah. So crossing the line is a naval tradition of where you cross the equator on a U.S. naval vessel,
Nice.
right? And once you cross the line, you become a thing known as a shellback,
Right.
right? If
I've
you
heard
have
that.
not crossed the line, you are known as a Pollywog. There's a more flavorful way to say that, but I'm not going to say that on this family channel.
Family channel.
But crossing the line it's a big honor for sailors. One of the things that everyone kind of looks forward to, because more often than not we don't usually cross the equator unless we're going down to Africa for something or whatnot. Like we'll cross the international date line, and I've seen an interesting thing with that, but I'll get back to it. But if you
Okay.
you cross the equator, you become a shellback, and we have this huge big ceremony that happens. It takes up the whole ship, right?
It's
And there's
sanctioned hazing is what it is.
it is sanctioned hazing. It's like Chief Indoc, it is. We have fun for the day. And usually it is some form of obstacle course, where you get wet, you get nasty, you get floured, you get sprayed with a water hose, like all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
And when I
Covered in
crossed them,
syrup.
yeah, just fun things. We have different roles on the boat, like different people who have crossed the line before become individuals from the deep, right? So we have Davy Jones on board. We have King Neptune on board. We have the Big Fat Baby. I won't get into that one. But we have all these different things, and you are given tasks to do by King Neptune in order to be accepted as a shellback in his court. And there's all sorts of stuff, right? It's like Greg has talked about before, having a kangaroo court where you get put on trial for something and you have to defend yourself. And you have to have shellbacks that, vouch for you or don't vouch for you. And then you end up going back through the obstacles again. But everything culminates in an obstacle course through the hangar bay, right? And the entire time as you go through this with, being a Pollywog, you have a white shirt, right? And you have, all sorts of rude things written on this white shirt, degrading yourself as a Pollywog and all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
And at the end of it, your shirt is just supposed to be destroyed because by the time you get to the end of it, you're a shellback. So I was running this obstacle course, right? And as you guys know, the Marine Corps doesn't get anywhere without the Navy. It is what it is. So we have.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
We have Marines that ride with us, right? And it just so happened that I'm going through this obstacle course, and I get in line behind this Marine. And you can tell which ones are the Marines and which ones are the sailors, right? They're usually more impeccably taken care of. And,
they look good.
Look for the hair. Look for the haircut.
You look for the haircut. Well, I'm running this thing behind him, and at the end of it, there's one person that he asks you a question, right? And there's a question that gets asked throughout the entire day. And every time you're supposed to answer that you're a wog, you're a Pollywog.
Okay.
But there's stuff that goes in front of it, right? So I get up there, and this Marine gets up there, and he gets to the end before me, obviously, because he's way more fit than I am. So he gets to get asked the question at the end of it, and the guy says, what are you? And he tries all sorts of different things. I'm a Marine Corps of the United States, of America. Nope, run it again. So he runs it again. And then he gets back up there. What are you? Well, I'm a Pollywog. Nope, run it again. I watched this dude run it at least 7 times.
Whoa.
Because at the end of it, we're done. This is the last thing. I think he's just, enjoying running the thing or something. Because as soon as you tell the guy, well, I'm a shellback. All right, you're good to go. Welcome aboard, brother. And they let you out of the line. This Marine has watched people in front of him all 6 times that he's run it. And it isn't until he gets up there to the 7th time that it finally clicks. Oh, I should actually tell him. Yeah, I'm a shellback. Finally. Welcome aboard, brother. Come on. Yeah.
Bless it.
Yeah. So, by the end of this thing, our shirts are hanging off of us because, we've been hit with fire hoses. We've gone through things that have torn our shirts. People have come and tried to rip our shirts off of us. That's always fun.
Wow.
It's good times. But this poor dude ran that obstacle course 7 times. And it wasn't until the 7th time he was like, oh, yeah, okay.
It clicks.
It clicks.
Yeah.
Oops.
So,
What do you do?
I don't know. I thought he liked and enjoyed, going and talking to the Big Fat Baby, but that's just me. I'll tell you about that one off air. Or episode 500.
Hey, there's an idea.
Yeah. Really big tradition. Then it's just all sorts of fun.
Mm.
You know, because unless you're on watch, and even if you are on watch, like it goes all day. It's not like, oh, we're doing this for an hour or whatnot. Like it starts in the morning as soon as we cross the line. Well, as soon as we're approaching the line, and then once we cross the line, that's when everything can end.
Mm.
So we'll start it in the morning, and then we'll cross the line sometime around evening chow. So
And that's when you
all
can
day.
officially claim I'm a shellback.
Yes, sir.
Got it.
It's good times.
There's points.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, man. Well, I've been in this gig, Salvation Army, for 20 years now, and really, there aren't the fun traditions that you guys deal with. Like, we recognize the year, but we don't necessarily play with the month and the day. And so we're coming up here 2027. We're coming up on 100 years of the formation of the Southern Territory in the United States. And so we're going to have a big Congress, a big celebration in regard to that. But that's about it. Hazing wise doesn't really happen.
I wouldn't think pastors haze each other.
No, not really. There's the tradition of our brass music and our worship, but I mean that's nothing too special. I mean, not many other people do it, or not many other denominations, but yeah, we still wear the uniform. But you do too. So
Sometimes
there's purpose.
There's camp traditions.
Well, sure, there's camp traditions, but even those are different based upon the camps. Like we have different quote unquote ghost stories from different camps. Paradise Valley, our home, well, second home, I guess, maybe.
Oh.
I mean, you guys spent more time in Georgia than I did.
We worked in Georgia more than you did.
Right. You definitely worked more in Georgia than I did. But I mean, the ghost story in KT was Camo Man.
Mm-hmm.
What was the ghost story in Grandview?
Smiley the crocodile.
Smiley
The crocodile down at the lake?
In the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And what was her name? Esmeralda.
Esmeralda. That's another one.
So, I mean, you do have those traditions, sure. But I don't know. It's just ours aren't nearly as fun as yours, but who knows? Maybe that's why we're dealing with retention. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, gee. You just woke up, dude.
I know.
Wake up. So,
I'm working on it.
Quick question for you, man. Are you able to get, like, decent coffee over there?
No.
That was quick.
No.
No.
Nope. I actually haven't had. No, that's not completely true. I had coffee at. So we do have we have green bean, and green bean is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I will not knock green bean because their coffee is pretty decent, but
I've never heard of it.
I don't. So it's I don't know where they're based out. It's a U.S. company.
Mm-hmm.
But where are they based out of? Hold on.
It's okay, man.
Yeah. I mean, they're good.
You beat
green beans coffee.
Seattle?
No.
That'd be my guess.
Check their website.
Or what? Somewhere in Washington.
Washington.
Let's see.
It sounds like something. Oh, speaking of which, what was it?
I don't know.
No, we were talking about Foursquare. Foursquare is now like morphed into something else called Swarm.
Yeah.
And it's it lost all its fun as Foursquare. So there you go.
I mean, there were no rewards for Foursquare. It was just whether or not you were the governor of some place.
Right.
Like it had no reasonable purpose other than, letting other people know because it integrated with Facebook where you could check into places.
Right,
Look,
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So it's called Cup of Joe for a Joe. That's their website.
Yep.
Greenbeanscoffee.com.
Yeah, so you can
Oh, wow. Decades-long supporter of American service members with over 30 locations on military bases.
Mainly outside of the U.S.
Right. We're proud to support America's service members and their families from deployment to discharge and beyond. Yeah, I can get behind that. That's cool.
They are pretty awesome. You can find them. So any overseas military in
San Rafael, California, Alex.
That was close.
You were close. Oh. A merch store. Lots of shirts. A puzzle logo, round logo, and I Heart Troops. Okay, cool.
They're
Neat.
pretty awesome. They had
thank you, Green Bean Coffee.
I told you guys this the other day. So I got a cup of coffee from them. I wasn't paying attention to what I ordered. I ordered a MOAC. Did I tell you about this?
No, this was like the first like real caffeine, or
Yeah. This was the first, like, oh my, because I haven't really been drinking any energy drinks or coffee for that matter since I've been out here.
Just water.
And I have been, so I was this whole like changing shifts thing. I was down in the lounge down next door, and I was like, I haven't had green bean since I've been out here. I'll get a green bean. And so I went over to order, and I wasn't sure what I wanted. I was like, well, I want something cold. I don't want a hot cup of coffee right now. That doesn't sound very good. And Green Bean has what they call it a MOAC, MOAC, which is an acronym for Mother of All Coffee.
Well,
which is a play on in the military we have you heard of we have a bomb that's called a MOAB. It's mother of all bombs. It's like a 2,000 pound. It'll flatten a city block. Anyways, so I was like, I'll get a MOAC, not really thinking about what exactly it was. And I got an iced MOAC, so it was cold brew. And what it is, it's a cold brew coffee with 2 double shots of espresso.
Good gravy.
4 shots of espresso in it.
Sounds normal.
I could see
sounds like,
and taste colors.
Yeah, heart palpitations.
I went into work like 2 hours after I had it. Like I literally, I looked at my coworkers. I'm like, y'all, I'm down. Like I need to sit.
Your vision is vibrating. Yeah, that's the worst, man. I know when I've had too much coffee before chapel because I'll look at the flags of the back wall and they're all doing this number.
They're not supposed to wait.
They're not supposed to do that. No. So, oh boy, this is gonna be a fun morning. So it's been a short week for us, folks. We've been on here. What was that? Tuesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days. And so in 4 days, gentlemen, what's your highlight, low light? Oh yeah. I can give you time to think. Ready? So my highlight this week was today of all days. I got to go out and go shopping with my wife. Now, shopping is not my woohoo. It's not that, but I got to spend time with my wife, which was awesome. And towards the end of it, we knew we had to get back here so that I could speak with you guys and be on here by 7. And so we needed to leave where we were around 5 o'clock. Well, we decided to get a car wash because the car desperately needed one. And it was one of those where you pay at the beginning, you drive up, they spray your car, you go through the disco light car wash with your car in neutral, and then you coast out and you pull into a spot where they have free vacuums. So we did the whole disco light. It was great. Pulled into our parking spot and started vacuuming out the car. And this is one of those nicer places that offers free towels. And so I asked Carrie to go get a couple towels, and she came back and she said, that guy over there needs some help. I said, okay. And there was an Asian gentleman in his car, which was probably like a Fiat. It was about that size. And then an older gentleman who was the tow truck driver trying to push his car out of its spot, out of the place and over to where the tow truck was. And so I just kind of ran over and said, hey, bud, where you going? He said, we're going this way. I said, I'll push. And so I started pushing from the back. And, pushing a car is not the easiest thing, especially by yourself. So I was able to get over there and help this guy move this car, but didn't get a thanks or nothing like that. But to be honest, boys, it felt good to do something for somebody else, Yeah. And I was just grateful for that opportunity. And we did get a wave when we were leaving out the other way. So there was some recognition in that regard. So that was sweet. But again, just being able to hang out with my wife today, do a little bit of good. And yeah, I was very grateful for that. Low light. I can say this because it's been made official. We lost a cadet this week. They resigned their commission, or not their commission. They resigned their position as a cadet and went back home on Saturday. And so very, very sad to see them go, but grateful for the promise that they made to continue moving forward in their faith and in their walk and in their journey. And so just very grateful for that. And I'll continue to pray for the choice that they've made and for the direction that they're going. Again, I can't share too much more beyond that, but just grateful for the opportunity to share with this individual in their journey of faith. So, yep, there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is good. I would say, all right, so highlight of the last couple days. Mine was probably today. So I was able to they brought in, so it's kind of cool. They brought in some of the locals where we're at. So they do a big shopping thing where they bring in just like locals with a bunch of
bootleg.
No, home, like local made stuff.
Oh, nice, sweet. Let's go.
So handcrafts like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was able to find a few things that I haven't seen on base before. So I was able to pick up a few things today, and that was kind of neat. It also kind of tags into the low light though, because a lot of there was only about this much stuff that was actually like local made goods. Everything else
made in China.
Less. It was either made in China, or if it was made here, it was like just this mass produced. It was trash. It was not impressive. So I found a few things that were unique. I was able to grab one of them. I'm hoping I can ship home or put in my bags. I'm going to figure out how to hide it, because it's nothing illegal.
Okay.
It's just because of what it's made of. Like shipping is a big deal.
Got it.
So we'll see. But no, for the most part, it was pretty. That's one frustration about like when you're overseas. Uh, Sometimes you have to be mindful of like some stuff you can't bring back to the States because it might be X, Y, and Z, or like I'll probably have to go over and see if I can do something to it that will allow me to bring it home. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So frustrating, but it is what it is.
Got it.
Right on. Well, I'm pretty easy on the highlight, low light. So, we're, oh yeah, that makes sense. We're getting ready. The Navy is sending me down to Charleston for a week on Monday. So that's kind of my highlight. I got everything ready for that.
Good.
So I have like all of my travel itinerary done. I have all of the quals requisites that I need done. I have all those things that are all just ready to go. But my issue that I have is that I leave literally the day after my wife's birthday. So when this came up, like we knew it would be a possibility that I'd get sent down, and we were going to try to make it a thing for all of us. Have Liz and the kids come down and have an opportunity to go and get to see our friends and get to hang out in the city we were supposed to go to instead of coming up here. And
yeah.
It was gonna be a really good thing, and then that didn't happen. So it's kind of the low light is I might be getting to go, but I got to go by myself. Gonna kind of stink.
That's real. Yeah.
We're gonna get the opportunity to celebrate Liz and get to do some stuff. We got some stuff with friends. I got a brioche rising in the fridge right now. So
look at you.
I got orange brioche French toast for in the morning. Yeah.
Look at you, buddy.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So
well done, buddy.
Hopefully that goes up well. My intention was to make donuts. I have a recipe to make lemon curd filled donuts and chocolate filled donuts, and I was going to do that, but I don't think there's enough time to do both. So I'm just going to go with the brioche, and we're going to make toast.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I would be too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks, guys. That's a nice recap.
Yeah.
I like where this episode has gone today. It's been fun.
Well, I figured it's kind of my fault that we're going so soon.
You're all
because
right.
obviously I'm not going to be available tomorrow or Monday, and then most of the rest of the week. So, but yeah,
it's okay.
I'm glad for this.
Yeah,
Good.
Me too. So I got a quick question then for tonight.
Okay.
It's my turn, so I hope you're ready for this. Gentlemen, you know, I'm a man of the faith, and this is even something that we talk about in regard to our faith walk and our journey. And so, gentlemen, my question for you tonight is this. Do you think everything happens for a reason? Why? Do you think everything happens for a reason? And why?
I got it. I'll take it.
Good man.
So, from past experience, I believe that yes, everything does in fact happen for a reason. Because otherwise, it's just all random occurrences throughout the universe, right? And there's more evidence of a higher power, right? For anyone who doesn't believe. But there is more evidence of a higher power. There's more evidence that God has a hand in all the things that we have done and we have been doing than there's not.
Right.
And you can feel however which way you want to feel, right? I know how I feel and I know how I believe. And even the bad things, right? Even the absolutely terrible things, they're all going to happen for a reason. There is a plan. We might not see the plan, and we might not like the plan, but there is a plan.
Isn't that the truth?
That's good.
Yes, absolutely. Everything does happen for a reason, because I, firsthand account, can attest to that. I have, I always talk about it because it impacted me so much those 3 years on recruiting duty. The fact that I got orders to upstate New York. When it happened, it was like, why?
Wow.
Like, God, why am I going to the cold white north of all places? I did not ask for this. You have the ability. You make choices. Things do happen for a reason, and I think there's you influence it. You make choices, whether God has a hand in nudging you in those directions or putting you on those paths. That part kind of we're getting into the weeds a little bit, but you end up in these, you get put in these situations. But those 3 years on recruiting duty, I learned so much about myself, about my own faith. I never would have met Brandy. Yeah, no, absolutely. Everything does happen for a reason, and we learn from those experiences. And yeah, absolutely. No, that final answer.
Good. Good. Well, gentlemen, I'm in agreement. Yes, everything does happen for a reason. Here's the kicker, though. It depends on you whether or not you recognize the reason for it. Because many people can look at loss of a loved one, or an accident, or the loss of a job, or cancer, or you name it. All myriad of horrible, awful things that can happen to an individual, a family, a community, a nation, you name it. And you can look at that and you go, just as you asked that same question about going up north, Greg, why? Why, God? Why? And it may take a generation. It may take more than that to recognize, or for someone to recognize, that happened and we're here because of it. Or that happened and this goodness came from it. In my faith, I realize that there are moments that I'm involved in 20 years ago that I'm able to begin to see the fruit of it in an eternal value. And being at a grandmother's funeral of a child younger than Alex's kiddos, and seeing that child grow up to who they are today, it's amazing. Yes, there is a reason for everything that happens, but it's up to us to look at those moments and to see the purpose of it all. And then if we can't see the purpose, to trust the one who does. and who knows the purpose for that reason. It's not easy for us, not at all. It is why moments, but God calls us to be faithful. And so in that faith, may we stand up and say, God is in control.
Mm-hmm.
So, great answers, guys. I appreciate your openness to that. Thank you very much. Sorry if it was a little deep or theological for some folks. I do apologize. But then again, it's nice to throw those in there every once in a while for us three. So,
I love it.
Thank you, folks. Thanks, brothers. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good question.
So, gentlemen, what did the 0 say to the 8?
Nice double.
Close.
How'd you get so tall?
Almost. Nice belt.
What did one eye say to the other?
Something smells.
Between you and me, something smells.
Something smells. Yeah, there you go. Between you and me, that's the part I missed.
This is one of my favorites. What has 5 toes and isn't your foot?
Someone else's foot?
My foot.
Yeah. Yep. It's an oldie but a goodie, gentlemen. A skeleton walks into a bar and says, "Hey, bartender, I'll have a beer and a mop."
What do you call the horse that lives next door?
George?
Wilbur?
Your neighbor.
Nice.
What's the easiest building to lift?
To lift?
Yes. I pick things up and I put them down.
I don't know.
A lighthouse.
Oh, makes sense. Makes sense. And how was the snow globe feeling after the storm?
Dizzy?
A little shaken.
And speaking of caffeine, what occurred when the cup of coffee got offended by a joke?
He got cold?
A brouhaha.
Because that's a fight. A brouhaha is a fight. Got it. Got it. Thank you, sir. Took a second, but it was there. Nice.
A brouhaha.
A brouhaha.
And finally, what do you call it when a cow grows facial hair?
A moustache?
A moustache.
Yes.
Moustache.
Thinking like a dad. I love it.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes episode 180 of Brothers in Arms Podcast. We appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Twitch.tv/BrothersinArmsPodcast is where you can hear from us live if you get that notification. If you go to our page, twitch.tv/BrothersinArmsPodcast, you can actually click the subscribe button. And so when we go live, and we'll run the pre-show a couple minutes to give you a chance to hop into the chat, you will get a notification that says, "Hey, your Brothers in Arms are going live right now," and you too can jump into our chat and be a part of it. If that's not your speed, if you'd rather just watch and enjoy or listen as a podcast, you can find these podcasts anywhere podcasts are distributed, but you can also find this recording of this video on our YouTube channel, and you can find that at Brothers in Arms Podcast. That also gives you a subscription button. So if you want to follow us there and get a little notification bell when this video goes live on YouTube, guess what? You can do it there too. And we'd really appreciate that, because that gives us an opportunity to continue being a part of you and you being a part of our community, and how awesome that is. I love community. It's my favorite. So that's why that's why we're so good together, because we're all community together. I keep doing this hoping that my finger will reach over and get into Alex's box, or, go down and touch Greg in the noggin, but it just doesn't work. So, wait, hold on. Oh, look at that. It's working. It's working. It's working. Oh, look.
My finger disappears.
No, just kidding. But
Mine disappears.
question. Probably going to have to be for after the show. So, gentlemen, I'll share that after then. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that wraps it up. Gentlemen, any parting remarks before we hit that magic button?
Yeah, as always, continue to drink your water, take your Motrin, and change your socks.
Happy birthday, Marine.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to my wife.
Oh, and happy birthday to Liz.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where Greg is, it's actually her birthday. So,
It is her
It
birthday.
is.
Greg, you can sing. Go ahead.
Happy birthday to you.
You went down.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Liz.
And the Marine Corps.
and the Marines. Happy birthday to you.
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, she'll catch it later, I hope. That's awesome.
I think she's in now.
She's on.
Oh,
She's
cool.
on.
Well, there you go. Happy birthday tomorrow, Liz. Or, in Greg's case, today.
Today.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, there you go, buddy. See, you got to thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And a heart face.
I love it.
You know, those aren't thrown out easily. Well done,
They
sir.
aren't.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
those are earned.
Mm-hmm.
Earned.
Earned.
And take care of your community, folks. They're the ones that are around you. They are your neighbor. And so take care. Like the horse next door. They are your
Neighbor.
your neighbor. So take care of your neighbor. Take care of each other. And look out for each other as we are together one community. All right. Gentlemen, I love you.
Wow, I love you, brother.
too, bro.
You're my favorite brothers, and I appreciate you so much. Have a great week. Alex, safe travels.
Thank you.
And folks, we'll catch with you next time.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you later.
Okay, bye now.
Okay, bye. Happy birthday.
Beer.
Danko.
I feel like a chicken.
It's hot.
Na, 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 na.
Oh. Do the mashed potato.
I don't dance.
Mashed potato. Oh, wait, hold on. Greg, you were doing it. Alex, you do it.
Na, na,
There we go. There's our movement for the week. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.